live. I don't know why it makes me flip the camera every single time, but here we are, folks. Welcome back. It is Saturday night here, almost midnight. Back for round 3 this weekend. We're loading up that can there, and we're going to load up another one, and then another one. Let's make sure we got our chat filter bull crap set up. Hopefully it doesn't hide a bunch of comments. Oh wow, I can turn on the light. Ooh. I have the phone plugged in, but I'm sure that would probably drain the battery. So just let some people trickle in here, sipping on my coffee. Make sure to say hey, hit the little thumbs up when you come on in, y'all. Let me know what you've been loading this week. Doing any shooting this weekend here? You been doing any shooting here lately? Any testing? What are you up to, man? Aside from loading, aside from the 223 here, I'm also prepping more brass. There's always more brass to do. I might just, one day go down to the old Harbor Freight whenever they decide to build one again and take up the cement mixer. And use that as a wet tumbler. It can hold probably a couple more cases than the mini fart, I would imagine. I do have to, however. Wow. Come on. There we are. Load up this primer tray here. Finish that off. I'm going to have one more left. Got to top off the powder. This is going to be awkward. Try not to smack the camera. Fortunately, I can't show you the whole process because we're on YouTube. But, you can use your imagination and ask questions and so on and so forth. We're using the MagTech. Oh shit, that one's upside down. Cute. Not to worry. We'll just go in the back door here and push one out. Oh, come on now. There we go. Hello, sir. How are you? There we go. A triple whammy. Sometimes when I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. So we're doing the live this weekend. And it's actually started raining finally, so crappy weather. I did all the cleaning and everything around the house, got all the laundry done. And I would be loading anyways, so why not turn on the camera here and have you fine fellers to talk to. Almost. Nope. Okay, I think we're full now. There we go. Go ahead and I think that's the first primer I've actually ever picked up upside down with these little primer pickup tubes. And I caught it too. I've never had that issue actually loading an upside down primer through the press. I mean, I can understand how it could happen. You just watched it. Oop, there we go. I should have counted how many that was so I could, you know, fill them up. We'll just do a few and get to it eventually. Okay, now we'll top off our powder here. Sorry, our angry sand, we have to call it here on the tubes. Here we go. Yep, don't do that. Yeah, well, whoopsie. I got some of the 5-cent hard and 8-cent soft sinkers. Should be great fishing for prairie dogs. Ooh. Heck yeah, dude. Good stuff. They've got some pretty good deals on there every once in a while. All right, so we're just coming back, fresh press all filled up. I'm gonna run one here just to get the machine checked. We'll be paying attention here this time. Yep, so once again, if you have not seen the Magtex Focus, they have a little V shape on them. Kind of cool, I reckon. Thanks for the heads up. Hey, no problem, brother. That's what these were. I think these were actually like 3.8 cents a piece after shipping. Or, you know, when you put them in the cart, it gives you the real price. I need a little can of compressed air just to clean off some of these little giblets here and there, but I don't have any issues really, but I like having a nice clean workspace, you know, keeping it tidy. Okay, that was the first powder dump that had been sitting, so it was actually a 1/10 over. So I'm gonna run one more, and I bet you this time it'll be spot on. We'll also zero the scale out. It's been sitting. There we go. And what do you know? It's perfect. Very nice, good stuff. Okay. Okay. Pick a random projectile here. Oh yeah, look at that. And for the final crimp, got our nice tarnished case. Still has a nice shiny to it. Go for the case gauge. There we are. As long as we're under 226, we're good. And we're easily 2237. Yep, very nice, very nice. Not too heavy on the crimp, but it is a fair one. I'll tell you what now. That's a fair crimp. And then you can see a little bit of booger there where they had pulled it, but other than that, you shouldn't expect to see a whole lot. If you pick up some of these pulled thingy-doos. Whoa, ho, Mr. Mark Thomas. What's up, sir? Way up past your bedtime just saying hey? Well, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. Hope you have a nice day tomorrow. A good Sunday to wrap up the weekend. 0. This old scale up here goes crazy sometimes. I don't always use it. It's not the most reliable. Anyways, thanks for stopping in, Mark. Hope you have a good one. Load anything fun here recently? All right. We're going for it. Stage 1, we're going to expand that case mouth just a hair to aid with the progressive hand-fed bullet feeding, just in case there's any of these with a flatter base profile. And it'll help without keep any of these bullets from maybe getting the jacket shaved off a little bit. It just helps with seating. And then I go ahead and crimp on the final stage anyways. To close up the flare and make it, semi-auto friendly, flying through the feed ramp and through the magazine and whatnot. But we do have, you can see this is already a reloaded piece. Looks like it's already got the crimp die line on it. But we do have a fair bit of flare on the mouth. And that's just so our various bullets can sit in there easier and go up into the seating die with a little bit less effort. Double check that case for powder since we we were really on a roll earlier today. So if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna try to pay more attention to actually loading. So if I don't reply, super quick, I'm trying to focus on the machine here. Making sure we don't miss anything. I looked away for just 1 second. Double check the powder charge. That one is perfect. I also made a rule, if I'm going to look away, I got to leave the press in the up position so that I know it's doing the function before I rotate an index. Hi Marco, you had a good Sunday. How'd you get yours so cheap? 3.8 cents. I saw the cart discounts. It really depends how long they've had them on hand. And then like on Black Friday, instead of 30% off, sometimes they do 40 or 45, or they'll do select items on super discount. So get on their email list with your account you just made, and they'll say, hey, there's powder available. Hey, we just uploaded a bunch of 9mm. Hey, we just, they put stuff up pretty frequently. So if you get email notifications, they're worth watching out for. If you're looking for something specific, sometimes they have what they call like premium projectile, sorry, premium sinker packages, where it'll be like a mix of Barnes, like TTSX and Hornady ELD type bullets, and the Sierra fancy tip Game Kings, and maybe some Acubons from Nosler. So you'll get like all the fancy expensive stuff you don't want to spend $1 a piece on. So you can kind of test out those and see what your Rudy Tooty point and shooty may or may not like. Woo, but not reloading live. What's up, Kyle? How we doing? Mr. Tim, welcome aboard. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you, sir. And I lied. These were probably not the ones that were 3.8. I think those were some of the frangible ones, but usually around 5 cents I'll go in on it. And even if you don't need them right now, if you can get this little box delivered to your door for under 50 bucks, just to have on the shelf, it's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. You never know when you gotta, you never know when you gotta load up another odd-shaped jug of ammunition. Spot check. Spot check. Good morning, sir. It is still technically just before midnight for me. Are you out on the East Coast? It must be morning for you then. 2244, that'll work. Random projectile profile. Give you a little shake test here, the powders. Yeah, It was 52 delivered. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, you can't beat that. Mr. Hemi Scrub, what are we loading? Well, all right, I guess we'll do the rundown here. We got the MagTech numbers, 7.5 small rifle primers. I'm not even going to pretend to try to pronounce that. Yep. So far these, they've been doing well. They were about 5 cents. Cheapest on the market at this current time. Up top here, we've got some out. I'm not going to open that box just yet. Mixed, pulled, 55 grain sinker weights. Yep, different profiles, and some are boat tails, some are flat base. But they're all 55 grains. Mostly Lake City, but some other mixed twice fired brass in here. What else? Super duper doo. We have pull down from AR, from the place we're talking about. Pull down MP427. They said it was like 2230. I went out and worked up a load, so that's what we're doing here. Yep. Yeah, approaching 1 o'clock here for Kyle. Yep. Well, good morning to you, sir. I thought you were Mexican. No, not me. I'm sorry. I'm an American. Okay, had to, there we go. Check for powder, visual inspection. We're good to go there. Got to go there. Nice. Yeah, Mr. Hemi Scrub, what are you loading up What are you working on? Who was it that came in earlier? They had they were doing some 300 blackout. Some 300 blackout. I need to do some more casting for that. Unfortunately, you know, I loaded a whole bunch at okay, we'll back up. I cast a bunch of sinkers for the 300 blackout, the 312 155 from Lee, right? And then I normally size them to 309, and then I can run them in 308 and 300 blackout. But I said, you know, I'm going to size these to 311, see if you get any better, you know, function or accuracy or a better gas seal or any of that nonsense. So I tested them in a couple of different uppers and in a bolt action, and they all chambered and functioned just fine. And then loaded up a whole bunch after that test at the 311 diameter, 310.5 or 311, somewhere in there. And then I bought a new, how big was it, 7.5 inch barrel. So I got a new shorty blackout toy pistol, and it apparently has a really tight match chamber or something, because it sticks about every other round with the slightly larger size. Slightly oversized cast projectiles. Tore my glove. Oh no, I tore my glove. Better get a new one. I want to get contaminated. A mixed drink, no loading tonight. Good call. Good call. Although, you know what's better than a mixed drink and not reloading? Not drinking. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Dummy's one of those weirdo straight guys. He must be boring. He just talks to the computer for fun and records himself talking to the wall. No, I'm kidding. I used to drink quite a lot. I've had my fill and now I'm good. Hey, Mr. Sean Zimmerman, what is up, sir? How we doing tonight? My load 4570 tomorrow night. Okay. Not in the afternoon though, because still got to recover. Don't worry, I've been there. It's all right. Just drink a lot of water. Or even, my strategy used to be a drink of water in between every beer or drink or whatever. But that still usually would, you know. Eventually, I got old and fat, and my body stopped being able to process alcohol very well. So I would get hungover after like a glass of wine and just feel like ass. So I don't drink anymore. It's been almost 3 years. I have 100 pieces sized and primed, ready for powders and buckets. Sinkers. What sinkers do you like for 4570? I don't actually, I know you're talking to him, but I know you're talking to him, but I quite enjoy the Lee 340 grain and 405 grain in the 450 Bushmaster. Some people have addictive personalities. Yes, I'll admit it. I have an addictive personality. I can't have one beer. I'm really good at having 0 beers. I can't have one beer. If I have one beer, I have to have all the beers. but I'm really good at having 0. So no problem here. I can have 0 beers all day, every day, but I'll never have 1 beer. Also, ramping your car across the interstate and avoiding death from a huge semi and flying into the woods across the median, and then, yeah, that's not good either. So, me and alcohol, we don't get along, so I kicked that motherfucker out. Those berries were on clearance on Midway the other month. Loading them for an H&R Trapdoor Repro. Are those the Trapdoor ones the low pressure ones? Or are those the like you can really push them and you can load those hotter? I know there's like 3 or 4 different chamberings for the 4570. Powder check. Okay, we're good. Here we go. I'm the same when I warn things. I have to know everything, take everything to the extreme. Yeah, that's me. I go what you call balls deep, right? I'm all in, you know, kind of. If I commit to something, I'm doing it, damn it. I got some crap stuck in here and my plate's not turning. That's awkward. Oh, I got a little chunk of brass or something stuck under there. We'll just power through it with stupid strength. It's like right in the spot where it indexes to. That's weird. Interesting. Let's just pull these out real quick. We're not in any hurry. One has powder. That one has no powder but just got primed. This one's about to get crimped. Here we go. Yeah, there's just a little booger caught underneath there. There we go. Okay. There we go. Just a little brass chunk stuck under there. Okay, this one has no powder. He goes to stage 2. And we'll even throw this one on the scale and weigh the charge. Spot check. There we are. Perfect. Okay. Maybe it's this piece of brass. Yeah, the case head's kind of bent. That's awkward. I know the primer's a little proud. Supposedly you can use normal load, but I stick with trapdoor level. Way more fun with the brass recoil plate. I bet. Yeah, you're probably not wrong there. Okay, I'm just going to dump the powder out of this one and make sure our primer's fully seated because it's just a little proud. Oh, did you hear it click in? That's what was catching on the plate, you dummy. Moron. There we go. Okay, cool. As you were. So this will be easy. I'll just powder this guy since he's on stage 2. Move him to stage 3 with a bullet to seat. Put that locator pin back. And then now this other primed case we'll put on to get charged. And then an empty case on stage 1. And now we are rocking and rolling again. Yay! Reloading is hard. Oh, there we go. Alright. And then we'll just spot check these as they come out. Powder test, little shaker, little visual inspection. There we go. Visually inspect that, guys. Got powder before we set our bullet on there. There we go. Life's a garden, dig it. That's right, yes sir. Do you like your D-primer thingy? You mean this guy? The Frankfurt Arsenal handheld D-priming tool. I do quite enjoy this, actually. If you... on the last stream, or maybe last night, one of those two, I used that a couple times when I had primed some funky brass, and I saved the primer and tossed the brass. So it's handy for that. Notice I have the little catcher thing taken off, so I'll just use it for an individual piece and catch the primer I want to save. And then toss the junky brass. So that's one strategy. If I'm depriming a bunch of like range pickup military crimp stuff, it'll hurt my wrist after like 50 rounds. But otherwise, it's a very handy tool. I like it. Yes, sir. Mr. Robert Disler, how we doing tonight, sir? Desir, sorry. That's probably still wrong. Sorry, went to public school, can't read. What powder do you like? I tried some H335 for the trap door. I've never actually really looked at it. I know it's kind of like the Magnum handgun style powders for like 357 and stuff. Been using 4198. Yeah, that sounds like the slower end of that spectrum, I guess I was imagining. Nice. I was looking at 335 at Bass Pro the other day. Don't have any experience. Works good for 223. I have used H335 for 223 and 308. Both good for, bulk loading and ball powder usage. Although it does start to burn after a little while, so don't apply directly to the balls. But yeah, H335, I think, was at one point a military surplus kind of thing. I think it goes into one of the Lake City loads. So it's a fairly popular powder. But it has a wider range of use than just 223, obviously. Using it because it wasn't too expensive. Using it with the 405s. Heck yeah, 35 grains. Hodgdon trapdoor bookload. It's a full charge, reduce a little. Getting bad hang fires. Hang fires. Were you by chance using standard rifle primers or Magnum rifle primers. Sometimes I've noticed with a really full case of a ball powder where there's no room, you'll need a Magnum to get it to ignite and not have that hang fire issue. Because I experienced that in the 450 Bushmaster. And then I switched to the CCI 450s, which is a Magnum. And boom, hang fires went away. So there's that. We're going to get a sip of coffee real quick before it gets room temperaturized. Megabait, welcome back, sir. Fishing sinkers. Yes, something like that. We'll call them fish and sinkers. Good to know I'm using 32 grains of 41.98 with a 350. Soft shooting and enjoyable. I do really like the 340 and the Bushmaster. My next gun I plan on getting is probably going to be a Ruger Ranch and 450 Bushmaster, or maybe the Winchester Patriot or one of those cheaper Winchester bolt actions, because it has a 22-inch barrel, and I think that would be fun to play with and actually kind of push some hard loads with the longer barrel in the Bushmaster if I got a bolt action for it. So that sounds fun. I think I might do that. Richard heard of it was good, but temp sensitive. Yeah, I again, limited experience, but I loaded a bunch in the winter, and it was like a half grain from the top end, mixed brass, and then you go into August and shoot it when it's 105 out, and then, you know, you're flattening your primers, and it's, wow, higher pressure than I remember. Well, that's because it's 70 degrees warmer in your environment, you dummy. So that's something to consider. Stinky regular large rifle Gen X. Well, if you get the opportunity, try a Magnum, or yeah, maybe a Magnum. I don't know, or a different powder even. Hard to tell. There's 1,000 variables. Maybe even just a slightly harder crimp, you know, contains the pressure a little bit before the bullet gets released. So maybe that'll stop it from kind of going off and hang firing. I don't know. 1,000 variables. I'm just making shit up right now. Mr. A1 Kills. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you, sir. I would say you must be on the East Coast, but it's technically morning here in Central Time for me as well. Spot check. Oh, yeah. The plunkage. Oh, come on, focus. Yeah. Magtechs have the cool little V on them. America. Well, visual inspection for powder. So what is everybody's first cartridge they reloaded? What was it that made you go, man, I gotta start reloading? Which gun was it? What cartridge? Or was it less of a single cartridge and more of the entirety of the whole of the situation? Because, you know, if you guys are talking about antique, you know, light pressure, single shot, old school rifles that you still want to shoot, but you obviously want to preserve and have nice low pressure loads, that's something you're going to have to hand load for. Or if someone's really into milsurp or something with an oddball diameter, you're going to have to maybe even start casting bullets to be able to reload for that. So what was yours? What was your first cartridge? I'll stop here in a second, read the chat. But you can sure get on a roll here once you get her dialed in. As long as you don't stop to read the chat mid-stroke. If you leave it there, we're good, right? Okay, I was wrong. It's 48 to 51. You set it on 50. 32 sounds way better. Yeah, those sound like very different pressures there. Megabait started loading for his milsurps. Nice. What rifles was on that list? Because you have plural milsurps. That means more than one serp. But that's very cool. Very cool. Pardon me, excuse me. Kyle Lusk started loading for 9mm and 45. Very nice, popular, easy to get into, nice straight wall cartridge. Learn the basics, dial it in for your gun. Maybe get a carry load or something. Depending where you're at, you can do some handgun hunting. Very cool. A1, 9mm. Now Kyle's into milsurps. Very nice. You fell in love with your AR9. Who made your AR9? Or what brand is it? Or what upper or lower do you have? So on and so forth. Because that's something I want to get into eventually as well. Which I've said forever, but I skipped that project and went straight to the 22LR conversion kit. And then I was like, man, this thing shoots like butt because it's going out of a 1-7 twist barrel. So then I just went and bought a new 1-16 twist barrel that's actually made for 22 long rifle. But it's got a proprietary barrel extension where the lead and the rifling starts and all that, where it meets up with the conversion kit. So I have to place another order to get the bolt face conversion that meets up to their barrel. So I skipped the 9mm AR and went to the 22LR. Still haven't got to get to that final form just yet. Robert started loading for 223 and 308. Heck yeah, very nice. I started with what did I start with? 9mm, 38, and 223. Well, I got this 550 here. I got those conversion kits all at the same time. All things considered, started with the 54R for the Mosin first deer hunt and couldn't find soft points. Huh. Did you, were you aware of the diameter, discrepancy between some different Mosins, and how fun was that to navigate and try and find a nice hunting load when you were loading soft points? Mr. Mark, sir, how are we doing this evening? How goes it with you? we're doing pretty good. Just cranking them out here. We're about to fill this one up, and I'm gonna get another one. Cast for everything, 9, 45, 40, 500 Smith & Wesson, 270, 30 cal, 762 Argentine, Mosin. Ooh, Mr. Lusk. I have I've got Dad's Ruger M77 and 270, and I've never really shot any of it. I've loaded up like 10 random, rounds or whatever. But I also got the Lee mold. I think it's a 135. Any recommendations on casting for the 270? Any loads with that Lee mold? I've got them all made and sized and ready to go, actually. I just haven't chosen the powder and anything like that. So that would be fun, though. Mr. Sean Zimmerman, what bullets are we loading? Sir, we are loading. This is what you call mixed. Is that a 62? No, he's just longer. I saw how you guys get confused, though, when you said it the other day. We just have mixed, pulled 55 grainers, different profiles, and different stuff there from the old AR. Mr. Tactical Rabbit, hello there, sir. How are you doing? Loaded 10 of them to try out, and everyone at the range tried and loved it. Now you're going to load 100 to play with. Oh, yeah. Anyone know what bullets he's using to reload? Sorry, Sean. Yeah, just mixed 55 grainers. Sorry, I'm following the chat, but I'm apparently way behind. Kyle's also casting and loading 38, 380, 357. Megabaits Milsurps, 8 millimeters, 7.5 Swiss, 54R, X39, 6.5 Jap, Carcano, Sweet French, etc. Man, the list goes on and on. Sorry, I wasn't trying to dox your safe and get all the deets. Just loading mixed case range ammo SM. Yes, sir, that is correct. They're like 90% Lake City. The other stuff is probably like Federal or Norma or whatever else fell in there. Yes, sir. What are you going to be using for the semi 54R? See, you filled up a bottle last night. Well, we actually got on this afternoon for a little while. Did a few hundred. Ugh. But now I'm just being a chatty Cathy, and we need to get to work here. Need to put in some reps. Oh, yeah. I could probably top this off, though, and then I have one more. Get out of there, fucker. There we go. Ha! And then I've got one more tube before I have to refill all the tubes. So probably 150 more before primer tube minigame. Oopsie. Might as well empty this guy. Yep. Come on. There we go. Ooh, it's just enough. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man, don't that purdy. Ooh, buddy. They might be ugly and pulled and probably a little heavy on the crimp, but they go bang and make my happy endorphins go off, and that's what they're for. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, speaking of casting for the Mosin and the X39, here's the 312155 that I use for the blackout that I was telling you I oversized. Right? Make a load that will work pressure-wise in all cases and load them. Then with 77, they use all the same cases. That makes sense. Yeah, I've heard people do that. Like the range blasty stuff, mix it up, find a lower charge that cycles and, works for all that. In the 77s, you got to be a little more selective and specific because you're pushing those harder. You loaded bullets. I reloaded my pill tray. Hey, I need to do that. Mine's full of vitamins, and I've got some allergy stuff. And yeah, pills are fun, right? Pistol, we got 45 Colts, 38, 57, 33 Magnum. What? No more 9mm? Whatever, dude. 9mm's awesome. I'm just kidding. It's just cheap and easy to load, and you can do it. You can do lots of 9mm. 44 mag for the megabait. Oh, that's probably what he meant instead of 33. 4198 and 2222 RAM. Not the 22.2 RAM. Silly dummy. You got a ball of 4198 you're saving for your 222 contender. Ooh. You ordered a chamber reamer for the 4406. I don't know if I've heard of the 4406. That's interesting. Is that like, you've got a 35 well in, and then I'm sure there's a 350, a 375 out of these, 06 case. I've never heard of a 44 because that's cool. Nice. Got some loaded this morning. Need to go to the range, see if they fly or drop down. 8x58. Interesting. For the Mosin, he couldn't find factory soft points, so I bought some Sierras and loaded some 18311s. They shoot about an inch, slugged and measured 310. Nice. I guess you got lucky. That's cool. 270, doing the 110 grain with the four. Were we talking about this like months ago? And I was like, 4064 is a really quick burn powder. Like I knew what I was talking about. Interesting. I'll have to double check the books on that. Thank you. The Mike Walker Special, 20.5 grains in the 222 with 50 and 55 grain bullets. 33 and 3100. That's smoking right there, sir. I know that's like an old school, an old guy cartridge, but it still sounds awesome. If I had a contender, it would be fun. Little varmint setup, little varminator setup. Yep, okay. Cool. This guy's full. Let's write our data down. Let's put a note in there. Mix 55 grilla. Don't read my data. Max OAL. There we go. Some of them are shorter. We got MagTech. SRP. Beautiful. Look at me taking notes, being a responsible reloader. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Yes, so anyways, if anybody sees some ammo cans on sale, I need to get some more of them. Because I normally store my brass in these. See how this says Lake City 100% ready to load? Yeah, if I fill it full of loaded ammo, then it's not the same, right? Oh, look how low he is. We'll just leave that there as a reminder that there's work to be done. Okay. We stepped off of the press for a second. Make sure we're caught up on the chat. What's a 4406? Is that a 429 for the 4406? See, we need to know. The people need to know what a 4406 is. I'm intrigued. Is that like what do you call it? The 45 Raptor? I think that's a 460 Smith & Wesson case with the rim cut off. What is it when you do it with a oh hell, I don't know. I don't know. Is the '06 case even big enough to go 45s? I don't know. I don't know, man. Time to empty the bottle down range. Sir, yes, you are indeed correct. All right. All right, I got one off the press. We'll put one in there just so it's not empty. Just so it's not empty. We'll leave one. Okay, chicken to powder, very nice. We still have some. Yeah. If you were watching earlier this afternoon, it's funny that I congratulate myself that there's actually powder in the case. As if like it's a miracle that it made it there, compared to that being the standard. Oh. So, for random trivia, what's the biggest case you can fit into a 308 parent case? I know there's a 375 Raptor. And you can do like 358 Winchester under that. Can you go to a 40 cal with a 308 case? Actually, yeah, that's the same. The bottom of a 308 case is just a 45 ACP, right? So theoretically, I could make a 45 cal, basically a straight wall, out of a 308 case. That sounds like a better version of a 450 Bushmaster for an AR-10 platform. Intriguing. 44 mag is fun. I have 7 molds for it. That's awesome. I like different molds. Variety is nice. I probably have that many for 9mm or 38 357, but I'll size some of those down to 356 for 9mm. It's fun. It's really fun. 4406. It's a 30-06 case, expanded to 44 and trimmed down to 2.3. I got a 300 grain bullet. Dang, son. That sounds like fun. What is that going in a contender? Sorry if I missed the chat. Is that going in like a contender barrel, or is that going in a bolt action or something? A break open? I need powder gremlins to refill mine when I'm sleeping. Yeah, this one's getting pretty low. I'm going to have to break out jug number 2. .38 will not make a 45 ACP. Are you sure? Okay. I've got 2 of you telling me I'm a dummy. My bad. I have misspoken. I could have sworn it's at least the same case head, right? Is that the part that I heard of? Maybe not the actual internal diameter where the bullet would be seated, but the case, the bolt face, right? Those are perhaps the same. Maybe? Well, that would be sick. 44 straight wall for a 308 or an AR-10 platform. Wow. That sounds brutal. That sounds brutal. What about how long until we get to the like 416 blackout? Who's gonna do that one? Like 8.6 is the new thing, and then you've got the 338 arc. So they did it on an AR platform. So when are they going to do the 375 or, you know, the 416 blackout? That'll be silly, right? No neck raving at head spaces off the mouth. Oh, like, because it's a straight wall. Aha. That makes sense. Sorry. Straight wall head spacing off the case mouth makes sense. Sounds like a cannon. I would imagine so. I like cannons. When I grow up, I want a cannon. Don't you guys want a cannon when you grow up? Gotta refill our brass here soon. It's more than a 444 Marlin. Kind of has me intrigued. And yeah, 300, what do you say? 300 grains going 2,600. That sounds hefty, sir. Sounds like quite a bit of energy. Both on your shoulder and into the target. Yeah, 300 grains, 2,600. That's funny because I'm thinking about the Bushmaster, and you can push a 300 grain in that. Probably only like to 1,800 or so, because it's limited to about 36,000 psi due to the bolt face of the AR. Maybe. What barrel length? Huh? Yeah, you could probably you know, get away with like a 10-inch contender or something, or do like 20 something with a slower burning powder, maybe push it a little faster. But it is a straight wall cartridge, so you would still want a faster burning powder. Gonna run a 20-inch or longer. That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah. Except, you know, I'm seeing a trend here. I wonder where the next step is going. But, so we'll back up a couple years, and then we have that new SIG Fury, the 277 Fury. It's got that bimetal case head, right? And it runs up to, what is it, 80,000 PSI. And that's because of that steel or bimetal case head. And now we have this new Federal 7mm backcountry, which also uses that same case alloy technology that they use in the case head for the SIG round. The entire case is made out of it for the 7 backcountry. And the standard load for that is also running at 80,000 PSI. And they have proof loads that go up to 120,000. So, you know, that's only a hunting gun right now. That's only a hunting gun right now. How long until this enters the, you know, the long range shooting? You know, if you can send 175 grains at 3,000 out of a 16 to 20 inch barrel, if you go with a 28-inch barrel, you can probably shoot a 190 still over 3,000. And I'm pretty sure, you know, the F-class and the precision guys would quite enjoy that. And what's the next step going to be? Are they going to go to a 6.5, or are they going to go to are they going to go up to like an 8mm backcountry or like a 338? Or are they going to do like a 6 backcountry and then go like 4,500 feet per second with the 115 grain or something ridiculous? And that'll just be like the flattest laser out to 1,000 yards, or whatever crazy ballistics they can come up with. I think this new case technology is going to be pretty much, they're going to introduce a new cartridge like every freaking year based on that for the foreseeable future. Does that make any sense? Are you following me? Am I just rambling like a freaking retard? But I think they're going to be using these bimetal cases that Federal says are reloadable. But obviously, they're going to be way harder. The dies are going to cost like $200 or $300 because they're going to be carbide. The case is only going to last 2 or 3 firings because they're going to say, hey, just stop using that. You know, before it just separates and blows up. Because it's not going to stretch like brass. It's just going to give and crack and be done. They showed it's nickel plated versus stainless. Thorzak's, welcome back, sir. Sorry, guys, I'm way back on on the chat. 80K says Hemi Scrub. Thank you for the clarification. Have to work on the buffer and spring to get it to run right. Dude, you gotta document the 44-06. That sounds awesome. I'm sure you are. Yeah. That I was saying the premium 44 backcountry cases are reloadable. Of course, they would tell you that the expensive nickel-plated ones are. I was getting 2570 in your 308 with the 208 AMAX. Ooh. With 4064. Nice. That's really heavy for a 308. What twist rate? Probably just a 1 in 10, I'm guessing. Was that an AR-10 sort of thing or a bolt action? I tested 223 steel nickel cases. So what's the next step for 223? Do they make some, or like, do they, make the 22 arc, but with the new bimetal case, and then you're shooting a 95 grain Match King at like 87,000 feet per second? Is that the new thing? Whoa. Never saw nickel, steel. Ooh, and your bolt gun. Nice. Once the brass is fire formed, it should hold 55 or 60 grains of powder. I'm pretty sure it's almost the identical length to a 30-06, but it's 7 millimeters, so it's basically a 280 Ackley, except it's slightly different, so it won't fit into that chamber and you don't screw stuff up. Yeah, 87,000 exactly. That's what we're talking about. Fast laser beams, bro. Double check for powder, okay, because I'm easily distracted. About to have to fill the primers up. About to have to fill the primers up. When's it gonna happen? You ready? Oh, buddy. Okay, last one, and then I gotta play the pickup game. You ever play 300 pickup, and then you drop 100 of them, and then you pick another 100 up? That's the primer pickup game, because that's how many tubes I have. Yay! I guess we'll also fill this, well, empty this guy here. I think it was Geisley that did the new 223 Peak alloy. Interesting. Yeah. Geisley making a cartridge. That is interesting. Remember the DualShock 9mm cases? I certainly do. That's pretty much what the silly SIG thing is like. Surprised they didn't do those in 223. They did make 300 blackout shell shock cases, actually. Excuse me, pardon me. Isn't that a railgun, 87,000? I don't know, but I do know that the speed of light is 187,000 miles per second. I could tell you that, but I don't know what a railgun is or how fast the 22 backcountry is going to be. Saw someone else load those high pressure 223 steel cases. With this gun, I can come up with different uppers from 22 Creedmoor on up. Nice. I'm not into the AR-10 platform yet. I still have to cover all the AR-15 cases. Really, I want to cover all the 223 base cases. So like I've got 223. I want to get a 6x45 and shoot like 70 or 90 grainers out of that. That should be fun. And then you've got your 350 Legend, of course, 300 Blackout. I want to do a 277 Wolverine. That sounds awesome. I don't know what the 6.5x45 Wildcat's called, but I want to do that one. What else are we forgetting there? Is there a 33x45? Or, yeah, 338. That would pretty much be a straight wall taper, like a weak ass Legend, but maybe with a pointy bullet or something. I don't know. I want to do more with this case and with the 308 case eventually. Geisley's working with Federal on the backcountry, so that makes sense. I hate the primer tube thing, so I just fill 10 at a time, then use accordingly. Yeah, I hate them too, but I have these two matching Philly tube picker-uppers that I really enjoy. They've got these nice newer tips. Then I have this old ancient one that's cracked on that side, and then the tip here is like brittle and harder to pick them up, so you got to push really hard. So this one is it's on the bottom of the list. Okay, make sure we got powder again because we stepped away and we don't want to make any squibs, and then the internet would make fun of us. You can't have that. I said I was going to pick up some brass. Let me pick up some brass. Once we leave the press in the upward position. Gotta do its testing, don't know about making. Fair enough. Yeah, I have no idea. I've not even heard of the 223 steel case thing you guys are talking about, but that does sound pretty cool. I think the railgun fires at 4,000 or higher. I always thought the Wolverine was cool, and it gets close to the SBC velocities without the hassle of the SBC. See, that's pretty cool, right? We were just talking about. What did I ask Kyle about his 270? Well, here's the 277 sinkers. Oopsie. They're 135s, and I think I could, put those in a Wolverine. And then I've got a faster supersonic blackout, kind of like the hammer, but probably less bullet selection. Yeah. So the Wolverine would be cool. All I have to do is find a barrel for that. What other Wildcats are based on that? The 204 Ruger, you neck it down to 20. And then is that 17 Rem? You just keep necking them down. Is that the 17 223? Or are those different? I really have no idea about those small varmint cartridges. Top off brass. We're going to check the powder on this next one here. Well, this one's coming off, so we'll give it the plunk test. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Check the OAAL. Look at that. That guy's a shorty. 222, 22224. Close enough. It'll fit in the magazine and it'll go bang, right? It'll go bang, right? I was having my shooting buddies over for a reloading party, and I told them to clear the 550 before stepping away. That's the 222 Remington mag. Have you looked at 6 Mongoose? The name sounds familiar. Is that basically the 6x45 like I'm thinking? Okay, checking powder, checking powder. Boom. 24.1. Close enough. Close enough. Where did my locator button go? There it is. Okay. Primed here. We're going in. Sorry, it's 4,500 or faster. 45 to 56. What is that? For a rail gun? Is that what they call it? So you can do that with a 22 250, right? Get like a 40 grainer, 35 or something. Make those move real quick. Wish I could have some music on or something, but the copyright police would, you know, say that I'm profiting off of their intellectual property. Because you guys would be here to listen to the music rather than the rest of the content. 220 Swift. Ah, yes. It's an improved 223 negative up to 6, if I remember correctly. Okay, so that's just like, depending on what bullet weight you shoot, you can, you know, have your neck higher up or less case capacity, but your neck further down to allow for the longer bullet on top. So that's probably the difference between the Mongoose and 6x45 and whatever the other variations are. I know there's a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of different Wildcats. It's just kind of how high the neck is placed and what bullet it's shot or base around being shot with. So like if I just used a 70 grain spear flat base, that's a 243 diameter, I can push that up to like 3,200 or something silly if I went with the 6x45. And that sounds like a lot better than a 223. Of course, the bullet won't have quite that high of a BC because it's a flat base and it's technically shorter and has a worse profile, but more weight and flatter out to your first couple hundred yards than your standard 223. So I don't know. I don't know, man. 6x45 is 223 negative up to 6 mil. See, that's the one I want. 6x47 is 22 Rem mag, negative up to 6. Oh, let me see here. Oh. Where'd it go? So my goal would be, oh God, don't lose it. I want to shoot these in my AR with a 223 case. It's a 70 grain flat base hollow point. And my 243 shoots these into like 0.3s and 0.4s pretty reliably if I do my part. Also with 4064, if as other people were saying they had success with. But I want this bullet sitting in this case at that overall length. So I feel like that's pretty doable if you just blow that neck out, right? And that looks like That looks like a beast right there, brother. So same overall length, but we're gaining, what, 15 grains of weight. Explosive hollow point action. Yeah, anyways, that's one of the 73,000 projects on the list. And I would probably go stupid with it and get a 24-inch barrel. At least a 20, definitely a 20-inch. But maybe 24 just to see. It could be funny. Could have some good times. So what's your guys' next purchase? What's on your short list? It can be a piece of gear, a scale, a set of dies, a new press, a new gun. What are you looking at? Because, you know, once we abolish the IRS, there's no such thing as a tax return because nobody pays taxes anymore, and we'll just have a lot of extra money because it's not getting sent to overseas aid so that we can make sure that they have underwater transgender basket weaving. Shit! I indexed the thing while I was trying to make a political joke. Gotta find the one that's not crimped. Could be that one. Could be that one. It's definitely this one. Okay. Crisis averted. That's why I can't talk to the computer. Gotta go to bed. Gotta run the chainsaw all day tomorrow. All right, sir. You have fun with that. That wasn't sarcastic. I rather quite enjoy running the chainsaw. That's one of my favorite chores outside is chainsaw and splitting wood and all that fun stuff. Okay, well, I was gonna jokingly call this chat the I don't ever load squids chat. Then I said I was gonna pay attention and not actually load it. We just about did there. One of these days I won't catch it until it's on the range and it's too late. So every once in a while I just need to shut up and watch the press. Anyways, leave that there. What are you doing with your tax dollars that we don't have to pay anymore? About to build a new bench. Nice. Paying off a Henry Mare's leg in 357. Heck yeah, that actually sounds awesome, by the way. After I get this upper made, it'll be another caliber upper. Anything from 22-50 to 4406. Nice. That'll be fun. Obviously it does, or at least you can change the bolt face into the rest of the carrier group for the 22-50. Does that have the same case head as the 308, or the same diameter at least? At least your uncle's bringing his log splitter. That's awesome. Yeah. That'll help you. That'll save the back. But man, I was looking at a log splitter Those aren't cheap. Like you can get one, you can get a cheap one for like $500. But those look like straight up Temu toy junk compared to like the one I remember, using 20 years ago. Built like a tank, way bigger press. I forget the tonnage, but way bigger than the Temu crap sitting at Home Depot now. Temu at Home Depot. But yeah, the newer, better ones that are worth a damn are like upwards of $1,000 or $1,200 or $1,500, right? It's freaking ridiculous. And if you plan on doing any meaningful amount of wood, you don't want the crappy Temu one. You could even rent the nice one for a day. Get a year's worth of wood done. I wonder why the Magtech put the weird little V design on the primers. Figured it would be an M or like an MT. Perhaps it's part of the, giant global umbrella conglomerate that they're underneath or part of or whatever. I don't know. Oh, this doggo hunt. We've used it before. Good man, good man. Gonna put it to work tomorrow. 2250. Creedmoor, 343, Creedmoor, all the same case that they were. Very nice. I knew all of those except 22 for 250. Isn't that a proprietary case? As in not based off of the 308? Like a lot of others are. And then I guess you can technically make the Creedmoor brass out of 308, but it requires some patience and finesse and trimming and maybe some neck turning. But you can get Creedmoor out of 308, even though it is based off of the 30TC, I believe. But yeah, all the same bolt face. I just was not certain on the 22-250. Now I got what's the primer? We're talking about primers. Primus song, where it's like pretty much near the end of the song, but they stop and pause, and it goes right before a little breakdown jam session part. And Les Claypool goes, "Dog will hunt," and then they start jamming again. That's what I'm imagining in my head right now, but I don't know the damn song. But I'm hearing him repeat dog will hunt. If you happen to know what Primus song that is, I'd love to go listen to it here. I haven't heard Primus in years. Was it on Jerry Was a Waste Car Driver? You know exactly what I'm talking about. That's hilarious. Yep, now I can hear the bass line. And then, yeah, they go into the weird guitar solo, or it just kind of goes. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim. That's exactly what it was. Jerry was a race car driver. Remington formally introduced 2250 in 1965. Nice. Nice. I knew it was one of those, I figured, kind of 60s era. It's an 0308, 762, the NATO version, 243. That was kind of like later 50s. I think 308 was 54, and then maybe the NATO thing was like 58 or something. I can't remember, but the 243 was right after the 308 release. 250 Savage is the parent case for 22. Yes, there it is. I've heard that as well. And then they were like, what was it? The 250 3000 is actually what it was called. The 250 3000 Savage, because it was the first cartridge over 3,000 feet per second. You watch prairie dogs pop at a couple hundred yards with your 3/4 inch tube on your little straight 6-power scope. Go prairie dog hunting. Man, that would have been awesome back in the day. And with that, good sir, I must bid y'all a great weekend, or what's left. Hey Tim, you have a good one as well, sir. Have a nice Sunday, and I hope your next week is swell as well. Sorry, I'm laughing to myself about doing the Primus jam, and then someone knew what I was talking about. Made my day right there. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure we got enough powder left for the amount of primers in this tube here, but it's going to be close. Yeah. Hope it doesn't rain tomorrow. I have some 308 little soft point loads to test out here with the same powder. And by test out, I mean I literally picked 20 different random head stamps, as many different brands as I could, and then different years after that. And I picked the same charge of powder. So I'm going to see how they all run and how much they get beat up out of the M1A. Then I'm going to load a bunch of them. Because I have an impulsive shopping issue. And I've also got a lot of these soft points back here that I need to load. I'm kidding. It's not an impulsive shopping issue. It's a strategically timed stockpiling enhancement. If you know what I'm saying. Like obviously, I'm not loading up 2,000 of those today. But if I do 100 here or there, you know, have a box of 50 sitting there for the blackout with the bolt action. Maybe have a box of 50 set up for the 308 bolt action. You know, soft point isn't traditionally something you point a lot of, so I don't plan on just blasting through them. Though at 12 cents a piece, they're about the cheapest 30 cal on the market. So random question for you guys watching. I've been streaming vertically just because it's easier to read the chat, and like obviously you can't see anything, so you're not missing much. But as far as the viewer's experience, is it more annoying that it's vertical and it would be better horizontal, or does it not matter because you're just listening to me ramble in the background of whatever you're doing in your real life? Because on the earlier stream, I was talking about upgrading the production quality of the streams once we get set up a little bit later in the year. But if you guys are fine with 480p on a cell phone vertical with no actual content or shots or anything like that, then, you know, it might not be worth the effort to go balls deep doing something that nobody cares about. Except for the fact that I'm going to like to do it. It'll make me feel better about it. Powder check. Don't drop locator button. Powder check passed. Affirmative complete. Oh, she's a tight one. But we got her. No, I need to keep smashing. Oh, did you hear it click? No, it's perfect. No, it's perfectly flush. So back on about the 22-250. So you said it came out in 65. It's obviously a varmint cartridge. People shoot like 40 and 50 grain bullets. Maybe 60 on the really heavy side. Maybe. I just kind of made that up in my mind. But I think I heard someone say they used 60 grain VMAX in their 22-250. What if you took that case, right? The 22-250, and you just like reamed out enough into the rifling so you could use the longer VLD bullets. So you could shoot like a 95 grainer with 45 grains of powder, or whatever the capacity is, instead of a 50 grain, you know, you'd have like a 0.6 something ballistic coefficient, 90 something grain match king going 3,000 or something silly, I would imagine. Cat found data for the 250 Savage. It's 250, 3,000 Savage. 3,000 is the velocity will achieve. See, that's what I thought. I think I vaguely read that once years ago. And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. But then someone took that case and turned it into a 22 caliber. And then they had the 22 250 Remington based on the 250 Savage. Perfect. It all makes sense now. That's all been cleared up. Well, whoop. Come on, there we are. There we are. Boom. There's load data on it, but you have to have the twist. That's right. Yeah. Most 2250s have a 14 or 12 twist. That's fair. That makes sense. I remember like 223 used to be a 1 in 12, I think, or 1 in 14 or 12. Whatever it came out with originally. Now it goes up to 1 in 7 for heavier bullets, so that makes sense. Hornady Reloading Manual 5th edition. Sir, you're going way back before my time. I think I have 9 and 10. I think I got the 9th and the 10th edition. Maybe. Maybe. Berger also has heavy bullet data. I have never shot a Berger bullet in my life. I hear they're probably the best, though. Literally the best in the universe. And I've never shot a Berger bullet. It really seems like if you have a good barrel and a good bullet, then you don't really need to do load workup. You just shoot, and it goes where you point it. And as long as you can point it correctly, then it will exceed your expectations with a proper barrel and a good bullet. Obviously, if you guys cast, you understand, the importance of a good bullet. We can see this guy here, this sinker. He got a smiley face on him because, that's not going to fly as well as one that filled out properly. So he's just got a smiley face now. And he sits up here on the little shelf of shame. Definitely going to run out of primers before powder. We got a few left, though. Not to worry. Boom. Shit balls. Lost the locator button somehow. Oh, yeah. Really, where'd it go? Did it fall into my bag here? Damn it. Oh, well, oh, shit. I can't really use the press without it. Where is it? Are you kidding me? Ha! I win. Victory. Victory. Lapua makes good brass too. Yeah, sorry. Of course you have to have good brass as well. You gotta have all the good stuff, right? I mean, your powder gives you your consistency. If your case volumes differ, obviously that'll lead to inconsistencies. If your cases aren't trimmed and sized all the same, that'll lead to inconsistencies. If your bullets have a slightly different overall length or tip or point or hollow point or any of that, that'll lead to inconsistencies. Wow. So if you can eliminate any of those variables, you can shoot more consistently. I should have about 5 primers left, maybe. Oh yeah, and I've also never bought Lapua brass either. Never done that. Found the load data in your spear books 11, 13, and 14. When did those come out? Because I have my spear book is like, no wait. I don't own a spear book. Sorry, I'm thinking of the Lyman book. I do want a spear manual though, because I do quite enjoy Spears products. Their 125 30 caliber bullet, that sucker is nasty in 300 blackout. And you can move them pretty quickly in a 308 Winchester as well. Alright, cool. And that was the last primer. The last one for right now anyways. It is approximately nap time for me. Whoop, boom. There we go. We bought it twice for $22.50. 30-06 during the pandemic, because that was the only 30-06 I could find at the time. Oh, you mean some Lapua or burger ammo? Ooh, I bet that was not cheap. I bet that was not cheap, sir. So here we go. Pardon the noise. Wait, nope, no more. Let's spot check this one here. Case gauge. Oh yeah, looky there. Bloop, 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 bloop. Lapua brass. Yeah, see, I don't blame anybody for using this stuff because it's probably amazing. And I've bought Peterson brass before. Yes, very nice. And I don't have an issue with people buying new brass. Stuff's just expensive, and if I can find it off the ground, and once it's fire formed, it's going to gain some consistency in your chamber. It's of course not as good as Lapua, but for my purposes, I can get away with Lake City and Federal Brass for 99.9% of everything I'm ever gonna do. I'm a big fan of Starline. I like Starline too. I don't actually have. No, I lied. I have their 350 Legend, and I've tried their 450 Bushmaster as well. Starline is very nice. Recently picked up Starline 30-06. Nice. I didn't even know they made that one. I know they've been expanding recently since there's more availability, it seems, all around. So it's good to see that they're branching out and offering new things. Because for a while they started with only pistol cases and there were like 10 SKUs. And then they did, oh, look, we have 308. And then they slowly released more and more over time. So that's pretty cool. Starline is good stuff if you can get it. Definitely worth the price if you're buying new. Of course, if you're shooting 1,000 yards for world records, might not be for you, but for most shooters, it'll cover your needs, especially in a bolt action where it's not getting torn up by the action, semi-auto ripping it apart all the time. You can treat your stuff nice in a bolt action. But anyways, if I don't have to buy brass, I don't. But I will if I do. If I have to, I will. Anyways, we might come back tomorrow for some more. We might come back for some more loading tomorrow. I know there will be more loading to be done. I'm just not sure if it'll be streamed or not. But either way, I do appreciate you guys hanging out at 1:30 a.m. on a Saturday. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Get out and do some shooting, do some training, practice with your carry ammo. Stay safe. Be American. Woo! Anyways, folks, we'll see you in the next one. So have a good night. Peace.